All right, where's our sweet intro? We don't have any music to go along with this podcast, or at least someone to introduce us, I guess. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to podcast 001, the very first one. Sean Ryder here from Shenandoah, CrossFit. We have Jared Gordon. Say what's up, Jared.
What's up?
That's Jared saying what's up. We have another guy over here in the corner, Rick Haskins, who set up this little dilly for us. Thanks, Rick.
You're welcome.
There he is. All right, if we have any issues, we will just restart everything and get you guys rolling. So thanks again for tuning in. We're trying to do a podcast here just to let you guys have a little insight on why we're doing this. We just want to provide some value to our current clients by allowing them to ask us some questions. Really anything, whether it's about training, programming, accessory work, issues, nutrition, mentality, affiliate ownership, just anything really. I think we have a wide array of questions from the first go on the private Facebook page, but we also want to provide value to other CrossFitters at other facilities, whether it's local or not, or anybody that's been following our Facebook page that has been trying to decide whether to start CrossFit and you just want to learn a little bit about us. I think the podcast is going to be a good way to give you guys some insight into how we think and why we do what we do. So Jared, what's up, dude? And why don't you tell us what you've done so far today? It is 12:31 p.m. on Thursday, December 29th.
All right. Got up at 4, typical usual time for me. Got some coffee, got a little bit of a breakfast. I drove to the box at 4:40, got there about 5, and drove up to CrossFit, or Extreme CrossFit Martinsburg, hit up their 6 a.m. class. It's always kind of nice to be a part of a different affiliate, see how they do things, and for once just be on the other side of the coach-athlete relationship. So pretty much led me to where I'm at right now. So nothing too exciting, but it was fun to jump in with some different people and again at a different affiliate.
So you are a middle school teacher full-time. That means you have off this week. So you're telling me on Christmas break on a Thursday morning when you're not coaching, you don't have to train, you woke up at 4 and drove 30 minutes to another town and worked out at a CrossFit affiliate.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Pretty awesome.
It's just fun.
Yeah. I know that because I was right there along with you. I woke up at 4:25, I think, this morning. Took care of some stuff for the dogs. Met you at the box. We grabbed a coffee at Dunkin', drove up to CrossFit in Martinsburg, came back. I actually hit up a yoga class next door at Shine Yoga, 9:30 hot vinyasa. Felt real good, got a good sweat on. When you're talking about getting on the other side of the coach-athlete relationship, going to another type of fitness studio, whether it's CrossFit or yoga or Pilates, really opens your eyes to different things that people do and some of the weaknesses that you have. And I think yoga is a good complement to CrossFit, and especially after 2 days of heavy deadlifts, hitting the hamstrings and hip flexors were really nice. And then came home, and that leaves us here recording our first podcast. So I'm pretty excited. We have a few questions. We put out comment on the private Facebook page, got some really good questions from you guys. We're going to start off with 2 that revolve around more the nutrition side of things. I think being around the holidays, this is a good time to talk about that. And also leading into the new year, some of you guys want to make some changes with your nutrition. And, before we get started, all of our thoughts are of our own being. We're not trying to represent anybody or say that we're, scientists or doctors or medical professionals. So just take everything we say with a grain of salt and know that you got to find what works for you, and that Jared's thoughts are his thoughts and my thoughts are my thoughts, and they don't represent anything outside of that. So the first question came in, and it was, what advice would you give to someone who has no time for lunch during the day but needs to make sure to maintain healthy nutrition?
I've been thinking about this question for quite a while after I first saw it. And I guess the first way I would approach this is when you looked at joining and starting CrossFit, you probably didn't have that hour of the day to CrossFit at that time. You couldn't figure out how to put aside that hour a day to come in and work out. So somehow you made that choice and you found the way to rearrange your schedule so you could do that and be here with us. So when I look at this question, by exercising, you have to be conscious of your choice to eat healthy. And when you say you don't have time, it might be that you are extremely busy and your schedule isn't necessarily conducive to setting aside 30 minutes to eat lunch. So it might be taking smaller snacks along with you. They make a lot of these, I know one brand, Fuel for Fire, packs that have protein and have carbs, kind of like in a little squeeze bottle, and they're really, really quick. You can eat those kind of as you go. I know even myself, with the lunch I get during the day, sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm grading papers, but you kind of eat and work. And I definitely don't ever skip lunch because I know that it really does play a factor in how well you perform in the gym and how you feel later on. So overall, thought would just be, if you made time for the gym, you have to find a way to make time so you can eat healthy during the day and make that a priority just like anything else.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think viewing your food as fuel for your workout, your training session, and eat and train, not diet and exercise, is something I read the other day. And just viewing food as a necessity in order to feel better throughout the day instead of something you have to do or have to try and set off to the side. But when I look at that question, at the end of the question, it says, but needs to make sure to maintain healthy nutrition. So, first of all, I just want to clarify that in order to maintain healthy nutrition, you need to have your nutrition dialed in the first place. So if you're not having quality breakfast and dinner, you need to dial that in as well instead of just worrying about, oh man, I missed my lunch. I think there's something bigger that we need to focus on there, just maintaining everything all around, having good snacks throughout the day as well. But so I'd ask, what does the rest of your day look like? But if the rest of your day is good and you want your nutrition to be better, and that's one of your goals, there's a few things that you can do. Make it a priority. We talked yesterday a little bit, Jared, and you said you have to eat. You have to do it. You have to make it a priority to figure it out. So I'd like to provide this person with, a couple steps. And, if you're busy at work, I understand that. You can, get caught up and you don't know what time it is. We all are pretty busy. So number one, if you haven't tried meal prepping, go ahead and try meal prepping. And meal prepping doesn't mean that you spend 3 to 4 hours on Sunday with 20 different Tupperware jars and throwing tons of stuff in there. It just means get 5 Tupperware jars, cook 5 chicken breasts. That takes 15-20 minutes. Take 5 sweet potatoes, mash them up, take a big scoop of that, throw that in each Tupperware, and then grill a few asparagus spears or cut avocados in half the morning of and throw that in there. So right there you have your protein source, you have your carb source, and you have your healthy fat source. So meal prep. If you can't meal prep on Sundays, then when you make breakfast in the morning, make double the amount of eggs, cut it in half, eat the other half at work. That's what I did when I was a teacher. I had 6 minutes between first and second period. I would run into my office, pull it out of the fridge, and just stuff my face in 4 to 5 bites, and there's 12 grams of protein done in under 3 minutes. I think having quick, easy foods, like you said, the Fuel for Fire. I have baby food packets, just mashed sweet potatoes, 16 grams of carbs. I eat that on my way to the box in the morning when I'm training at the 5 a.m. class. Deli meats are quick and hand foods, foods that you can eat on the move. So I asked this person, I said, clarify what you mean by too busy to eat lunch. And they said, I get immersed in my job, and the next thing I know, it's 3 to 4 o'clock. So if you're moving around a lot at work, take foods that you can hold in your hand, carrots, broccoli stems, whatever it may be, apple, banana, and eat on the move. We talked yesterday also about setting a timer on your phone. Put it loud, put it on vibrate, set an alert on your computer if you're sitting down at work. Make it a priority to get it in front of your face that you have. I thought about this as well. If you don't have an alert on your computer, guess what you can put as the background desktop to your computer? A big picture that says lunch. So it's literally right there in front of you. It says lunch in front of your face. And the last thing is, be prepared to learn to love cold food. If you're having to get up and walk to the employee break room to heat something up, and then after 2 minutes you realize it's not hot enough, so you put it back in for another minute, you take it out, and then it's too hot, and you're waiting it's just a waste of time. Eat it at your desk. Don't worry about heating it up. Just eat. All right? Anything else to add in, Jared?
No, I think while we want food to be enjoyable and taste great, I remember watching a video of a guy named Sean Shirk, and he's eating this horrible looking bread, and it had some sort of funky name, I think Ezekiel bread, and the camera guy asked him, like, is it good? And he's like, no, it's horrible, but I'm not eating for taste, I'm eating for performance.
Yeah.
And so that always stuck with me, that I don't necessarily like eating broccoli all the time, but I do because I know it's going to help me perform better, it's going to help me feel better, and that's what I'm looking for in the long run.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just started having a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in 16 ounces of water as soon as I get out of bed. Chug it. Wakes me up, gets me hydrated, get a pound of water in my system. First thing, I don't like plain chicken. Sometimes I got to eat it cold, eat it warm, whatever I have to do. Just start viewing your food differently. It's going to make your day so much better. So hopefully we answer that question with a few easy steps. Meal prep, baby food packets, fuel for fire packets, set an alarm on your phone, and be prepared to love cold food. Number 2, how do you maintain nutritional goodness during the holiday season? Or do you just accept to sacrifice either on the foods that you're eating or your body and body composition? So nutritional goodness in the holiday season and sacrifice food or body.
To me, this goes back to kind of like a basic philosophy. It doesn't mean you have to eat everything in sight just because it's there. If you want a piece of cake, you should have a piece of cake. If you want a cookie, you should have a cookie. Doesn't mean a dozen. It means have 1 or 2, keeping in mind that that is a temporary pleasure. So you're going to feel good for that 10, 30 seconds it takes to eat that dessert, but it's not a permanent pleasure. You feeling fit and feeling good when you wake up in the morning and during the day and as you're doing your daily activity, that's a permanent thing. So it's all about kind of the checks and balances. So yeah, I think you should enjoy yourself. You're a human. Enjoy those foods, but just be smart about it. Simple.
Pretty simple. So if I talk more than 37 seconds, I'm making it complicated.
Wait till we get to question 3.
Question 3 is really getting us fired up. But this is a very good question. I agree with you. It's the holidays. You have to live your life. You have to go enjoy yourself and go to parties, because the simple fact is nobody likes the snob that comes to a holiday party and says, "No, Grandma, I'm not going to eat your chocolate chip cookies. Look how good I look. Look at my sweet abs. I CrossFit. How dare you?" No one likes that person. I don't think anyone wants to be that person. But with that being said, guys, the holiday season doesn't start on December 10th. If you're deciding on December 10th or even before Thanksgiving, let's say November 15th, if you're giving up right then and there on your nutritional goodness, the holiday isn't until December 25th, right? Like Thanksgiving is one day, Christmas is one day. You might have a party 2 days before that, but if you give up 45 days before January 1st, that is 15% of your year. So, you have to make good choices leading into the holiday season. So here's what I do personally. This isn't only during the holidays. It's something I do if I know that I'm going out with my friends that night to Piccadilly's, or we're going out to a fast food restaurant or something, ordering pizza, football game, whatever. I don't starve myself during the day, but I know that at that party I'm probably going to indulge in more fats and carbs, so I'm going to revolve the majority of my meals that day around my proteins. And I may not even count my macros that day. I just know that I have a lot of macros to play with at night. So again, just focusing on proteins. If I can, I know we talk a lot about waking up at 4 o'clock and 4:30, but if I can, I'll just sleep in those days. Because I know if I sleep in till 7, delay my first coffee for 20 minutes, drink a coffee, that coffee is going to hold me over for another 30 minutes. So now I wake up at 7:30, I'm having a coffee at 8, I'm finishing that coffee at 8:20. That coffee fills me until about 8:50. I'm not eating until 9 in the morning. So there is 5 hours after I'm usually awake that I'm just now going to start eating breakfast. So that's a good plan for me. It's not my daily ritual, but it's definitely what I do on holidays or when I'm going out. I make that adjustment. You'll sacrifice a little, right? You have a cookie, you have a piece of cake, but eating one piece of cake isn't going to get you fat. You have to enjoy it. Eating 2 whole cakes over the course of 3 days will make you get a little fluffy. Maybe you may not, have those tight knit abs that you had, but you're not going to be obese. Becoming obese is something that happens over time, and it happens slowly. So as Jared said, you have to make better choices. But when you make that bad choice, you have that one cookie, then you have that second, then you have that third and fourth, and you wake up the next day and you feel like shit. That's now something that's going to snowball and roll into the next one. It's going to snowball, and now your mentality, which is going to lead into the next question, your mental state's not good. So then you get sad about eating 5 cookies instead of 1. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to go eat a piece of cake because you're sad about eating 5 cookies. And that's not going to do you any good. So you just have to make that better decision at the start of your party, or just that day having the Oreos. So very good point. Lastly, don't sacrifice your training schedule. Even if you're starting to eat like crap, get back in the gym. Sick and tired of seeing people on Facebook going to parties and then we don't see them at the box for 4 weeks. Get your ass back in the gym. Don't sacrifice your training if you sacrifice some of your nutrition. All right. Now I think we're going to get Jared a little worked up here with this third question. I think this question is something that we're going to discuss a lot over the next few podcasts. So here we go with it. Going for the home run on podcast 001. Hey, coach, how do you find mental toughness during a workout in order to push yourself harder or not give into being uncomfortable?
I think that this question is a lot easier than people think, but it has its complexity levels. So how do you push yourself harder and get comfortable being uncomfortable is you make a choice. The assault bike is a prime example of that. The assault bike rewards hard work and it punishes those who just try to get by. So I can think back to a workout a couple weeks ago and it had like a 50 cal assault bike in the middle of a chipper. Yep. And the people that just tried to get by, not trying to call people out, but they took forever. It just did not go fast during that point in time. The people that were willing to suffer a little bit more got through it a lot faster. And so it comes down to a choice. Yes, the assault bike hurts at 150 watts. It hurts at 300 watts. It hurts at 800 watts. It still hurts no matter what you do. So it's just a choice. Do I want to be uncomfortable or not? Do I want to get mentally tougher or not? So with that being said, it's something that isn't intrinsic to everyone. To me, it's a learned skill. So each time you come into a workout, it might be something that when you look at a rep scheme of maybe say 10 deadlifts at 225, and you know that it's going to be uncomfortable at 3. That means you hold on for one more rep. I'm always a big fan of things like that where when you're tired, you can get one more rep. There are very few times in the workouts that we can't get one more rep. And then my next favorite trick is, I would call it a 3-5-7 rule, is that when you drop the bar, when you're just starting the workout, you count to 3 and you pick the bar up again, or you do another burpee, or you do another pull-up. When you get tired in the middle of the workout, you count to 5, gives you a little bit more rep. And when you're really fatigued, you count to 7. But either way, it's a way to get yourself back on the bar, get yourself back moving at a lot faster rate. And that's some of the ways you build mental toughness. Because when you finish the workout, you look back and think, wow, I didn't rest as much as I normally did. Or that set of toes to bar was a lot easier than I expected to be because I kept a short break. And yeah, it hurt, but it's one of those things that you build upon. You feel stronger after it. And it's the small little gains that lead to developing a mental toughness mindset that carries itself into the gym, that carries itself into the things you do outside of it as well. So it's a choice. That's it.
I think we need to scream that while people are on the assault bike. It's a choice. Go faster. What are you strolling in the park for? Looking around the box. You should be focusing on your wattage and, are you grinding on that assault bike or not? You're not looking around seeing who's walking in the door for the next class after you. So, like I said, I think mental toughness is something that you can hit at from a million different angles. So I'm going to try and come at it from another angle here. In terms of our clients, a lot of our clients liked that question on the Facebook comment. So I think a lot of people are intrigued by what we have to say. So I'm going to say in terms of our clients, first of all, you need to be self-aware. You need to understand who you are. You watch the videos of the CrossFit Games athletes and they say it all the time. Oh, I went into the dark place in this workout, and you just have to go to the dark place and all about this dark place. And you're going to feel like, well, I don't really go to the dark place. Okay, good. You're not a CrossFit Games athlete. They are doing this as a full-time career, just as you go to work and you get so immersed in your work and you're trying to be the best and you get in the zone, right? You had a really good, productive day at work and you were in the zone. That's them in a workout. So they have to dial in the dark place more than us. Do we want you to push and move the needle? Absolutely. But you're not going to be going as hard as often as a 24-year-old games athlete who quit college and doesn't have a full-time job and lives in his mother's basement. It's just, you're not going to work out that hard, because guess what? If you work out at 5 a.m., you have to get your shower and go to work at 6:30. It's simple as that. So know who you are. But I want to flip the question around here. When you say mental toughness, in a workout, I think some of our clients get mistaken. And when they say mental toughness, they're actually referring to pushing through the wall that they hit in the workout, right? I'm uncomfortable. There's a wall here. I have to slow down. I stop. That's different where, if you're referring to pushing through the wall, I'd like to refer to mental toughness, and you feel like you hit a wall in a workout and you need to learn how to break through that wall, or you always hit the wall. What if you hit that wall because you actually maxed out your heart rate too early in the workout, right? What if you actually broke through your lactate threshold way too soon? You redlined in the workout. That doesn't mean that you're not mentally tough. It just means that you went way too hard 3 minutes into a 15-minute workout. If you're a normal client, you're 45 years old, and you come to a class and some of the 22-year-old kids are in the class and it's a 15-minute workout and it starts with rowing, if you're trying to keep up with their pace on the row, you're going to max your heart rate and you literally won't be able to go fast later on in the workout. So the flip side of that is, maybe come out, I don't want to say slow, you have to learn your body, and it takes a few months in the CrossFit to do that. It might take 6 to 9 months in there before you start realizing, okay, this is my pace in a workout that has deadlifts, like Jared was saying. This is what I can maintain, this is what I can hold. And then once you learn that, then you try and knock out an extra rep or two, exactly what Jared was saying. I think it's a very good point he made. And if you're constantly thinking about mental toughness after the workout, it's too late. If you're constantly sitting in the welcome area or on the drive home, you're thinking, well, shit, I hit the wall again and I wasn't mentally tough. And I gave in to being uncomfortable. It's too late. You have to know at the 8-minute mark that you're about to have to make a choice. The workout is starting to suck. And just like Jared said, make the decision right then and there to make yourself uncomfortable. If you do it after the workout, it's too late. You have to make the choice when you're confronted with the decision. All right? Jared, anything else pop in your head with that?
Actually,
go ahead.
3 things. So number 1, you talked about going out too fast in a workout. And I'll be honest, it's something I sometimes do on purpose because I want to hit a wall. I don't want to pace things conservatively. I want to hit a wall and I want to have to just fight through it. It's an adversity thing. And just like I said, mental toughness is something that's gained through repetition. Sometimes I'll put myself in a really, really bad spot where I know I'm already breathing too heavy, that the weight feels heavier than it should, and just grind through it. I'm not looking for a specific time, I'm not looking for a specific number of reps. I just want to get through it knowing that I put myself in a really, really bad spot to start. The second thing is during the workout, I definitely get after some people about this. I watch your body language. If you're shaking your head mid-workout, you've already started to lose that battle. If you drop the bar and you take 3 steps back, you've already started to lose the battle. If you stop to get that drink of water during a 5-minute workout,
why are you looking at me, Jared?
You've already lost that battle because you're looking for an out. You're looking for a way to get an extra break that you deem is acceptable. So those little things add up. And the last thing, which I just talked with somebody about the other day, is I refuse to lay down after a workout. To me, that's just a sign of being mentally weak. If the last part of the workout was 15 toes to bar and you do the 15th toe to bar and you drop on the ground and collapse like you're exhausted, that's BS. If it said 16, you would do an extra rep. Or if it was a 20-minute AMRAP and you collapse on the ground after you finish, that's BS, because if it was a 20-minute and 5-second AMRAP, you would keep going. It's those little things that add up to being mentally stronger. The more you incorporate those into the things daily, you'll find that in the course of weeks and months that things that would have absolutely wrecked you or would have broken you down because they're quote-unquote your weakness don't seem to be that big of an insurmountable task anymore. So body language is important. You got to stay positive. You got to break things down into manageable goals. I'm going to do these next 3 reps, and then I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to do 3 more. I'm not going to shake my head. I'm not going to get a drink of water. Workout's over. I'm not going to flop on the ground because I know I could keep going if I had to. That's it.
I think we may have found a golden nugget in that statement, Jared. That was pretty sweet. And I think that's why I enjoy the private Facebook group that is not just for me to post to or our coaches to post to. I wasn't at the morning class the other morning when you coached and brought that up about falling over after workout. And I saw Sylvania, one of our clients, posted something about that. And so I went in, did the workout later on in the day at 11, and I hit the last 3-minute AMRAP, and it hurt and my heart rate was up, and I laid down on the ground, and I immediately thought I need to get up. And right when I thought that, someone across the box screamed, "Don't lay down." And so here I am, the owner of the box, a coach at the box, getting off the floor and walking over to the assault bike because of because you brought that up, and that permeated through the box the rest of the day. And I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on that. So very, very good insights there. I love the 3 topics that you brought up at the end. I want to end here. Let's see here. Some send off. Oh, one more thing. You said that you push yourself on purpose to go out too fast. Now, let's clarify. How long have you been CrossFitting for?
I started CrossFit either late 2010 or early 2011. I didn't really track my workouts at that point in time. So
yeah,
going on 6 years or so.
Yeah, 7 years. I think Jared knows his body fairly well. So understand again who you are. If you're fairly new to CrossFit, listening to this may not be a strategy that you take into play, but Jared definitely knows his body. Jared's really good at pull-ups. So, he could jump on the bar, knock out 30 to 40 pull-ups. So if there's a workout that starts with 1,000-meter row and goes into 30 pull-ups, if he wants those pull-ups to be harder for him, then he's got to go harder on that row and skyrocket that heart rate to see if he can push himself. So I'm glad that you brought that up as well, so we can bring back that self-awareness piece from earlier. So send-off question. What are you currently reading?
I have 2 books that I'm juggling back and forth right now. The first one is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. That's my morning daily read. And then at night, I picked up this massive 970-page book called Musashi. And it's been interesting, but I definitely like balancing both. One's more about productivity and one's more just for pleasure, but definitely been reading a lot more recently, so it's been enjoyable.
Good stuff. And you got to make it a priority to read. If you want to read 5 pages a day, get it in. I just finished The Alchemist, which I never heard of it until one of my friends from college recommended it to me last month. I posted something about it, and a ton of people messaged me saying that it was their favorite book. I don't know. I didn't quite get a connection with it like supposedly some other people did. It was decent. It was an easy read. It talked about personal legend and going after your personal legend, some stuff like that. I'm not going to go deep into it because I didn't quite connect with it as much as some other books. But right now I'm reading The Pumpkin Plan, which is more businessy. If you catch yourself as a business owner saying, man, if I only had 10 more clients, man, if I only locked down that big contract, I would make it. If you catch yourself saying that, this book is really good for you to try and get you to realize that that's not going to fix the problems that you're having in your business. And then I just tapped into Tim Ferriss's Tools of Titans yesterday, a couple pages into it. Interviews tons of successful business people, successful athletes, successful actors, or whatever they may be, and a lot of good information so far in the few pages that I've read. So let's wrap it up with a quote from the Daily Stoic. This quote is about giving thanks, and it says, in all things we should try to make ourselves be as grateful as possible. For gratitude is a good thing for ourselves, in a manner in which justice commonly held to belong to others is not. Gratitude pays itself back in large measure. And it goes on to explain that think of all the things that you can be grateful for today, that you are alive, that you live in a time primarily of peace, that you have enough health and leisure to read this book or listen to this podcast, and what love the little thing. The person who smiled at you, the woman who held the door open for you, that song you like on the radio, the pleasant weather. Gratitude is infectious. Its positivity is radiant. Even if today was your last day on earth, if you knew in advance that it was going to end in a few short hours, would there still be plenty to be grateful for? How much better would your life be if you kicked off every day like that? If you let it carry through from morning to night and touch every part of your life? So go ahead and think about that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed our first podcast. It went, I think, a lot longer than we thought it would. But if you have the time, share it, like it, give us feedback. I know I don't sound good on audio, so, you don't need to give me that feedback. Jared looks good on audio, so you don't have to give him that feedback. You don't have to give him that feedback either. But Jared, anything?
Nope.
All right, brother.
A lot of fun.
So we're going to see if we can get this up, hopefully it works. So Rick, let's get at it. Thanks, guys. See you later.